Hi, I'm Louisa Darling and I'm going to be introducing belly dance to you as a form of sacred practice. So we're going to be going through all of the basic moves in the hope that you can use them not necessarily in a performance setting, but more for the health benefits and the pure pleasure of dancing and experiencing different parts of the female body and using it to heal not only things like anxiety, depression, feelings of negativity about your body, but also to activate the different energetic areas within the body. So I am Louisa Darling, as I said, and you can get in touch with me via all the usual social media methods. I'm doing this as part of the Om Base Weekend Festival, free online weekend festival. I hope you're having a fabulous time. And we're going to do this as an introductory, so if you've done it with me a little bit before, we'll add some new moves in. And this is basically for you to go away. Doesn't have to be necessarily Middle Eastern or belly dance music. I think once you start dancing in these ways and discovering the different ways that the body moves, actually your whole dance changes. So you've been officially warned. So I also teach Kundalini yoga, and at the beginning of a Kundalini practice or any practice of yoga or any sacred practice, we have kind of like an opening of the space to change the energy of the space that you're in, but also change your energy and kind of acknowledge that we're going to be doing a sacred practice. So I'm also partway through my training for Shakti dance, and we tune in with the mantra for Kundalini, Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. And this is a really lovely way to use that mantra. It means I bow to the divine within. So for me, that's heavily about tuning into your inner wisdom, your inner guru. You are your own guru, you are your own teacher. So this is also about activating intuition. So at all times throughout the class, you're checking in on yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. And this at the beginning just allows us to see how we're feeling today. So it's a little bit of a mindful moment of acknowledging, you know, where we are today. So we might not feel like doing lots and lots of powerful shimmies and big movements. We might be feeling a little bit smaller and wanting to move in a soft and gentle way. So this is an opportunity to tap into and see how you are. So I'm going to get a piece of music and we're going to go through the mantra and the movements. So we take the hands up above the head, sweep them up, take them in prayer position above the head. I'll bend down so you can see my hands. And then we come down, Ong Namo Gurudev. We bow down and cup the hands. Namo, back to the heart center. Gurudev. Namo Gurudev. So you roll the wrist, take the hands out, sweep back up again. Hands above the head, press the palms together and begin again. Om Namo Gurudev. Namo Gurudev. Namo Gurudev. And then basically this becomes like a moving meditation. So I'm actually going to sit on the floor for this. You can do it standing as well if you wish to, but in Kundalini we would sit in easy pose. And so for me, this has become a regular habit for my practice. So the second that I get into this position and I start to make more sort of not worry so much about the external world and go in. This already sets my body, it affects the sympathetic nerves, and everything starts to kind of like get into that meditative space. So the first two parts of the mantra go really quite quickly, and then there's this break, an instrumental break between each part of the mantra where we've got time to sweep all the way through before we begin again with the Om Namo. So the first few times you do it, you'll probably be watching, and it's a little bit like kind of patting your head and rubbing your belly at first. So you're kind of having to watch and focus. You've got a few things going off all at the same time. So you're chanting the mantra and doing the movements. But eventually it becomes like a moving meditation, and you can close your eyes and it all flows together. It's very, very soothing, and it's a beautiful way to start a class. So here we go. So we're just focusing on our breath a little bit now, resting your hands lightly on the knees, nice straight spine, eyes closed. Shoulders relax, all the facial muscles relax. Take the hands up, sweep them through. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudeva. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudeva. Take your hands up, press them together above the head, looking down through the centre of the body with gentle pressure, and then back up, ready to begin the mantra again. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudeva. 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 This time, bring the hands down the centre of the body to rest at the heart centre. The thumbs are gently pressed into the sternum. We'll just take a moment here before we begin the actual When you're ready, you can release the hands, open your eyes, give your legs a bit of a wiggle before we stand up, so circling the ankles, point and flex. Give them a bit of a pat down, so there's some circulation back in there, and give them a little bit of a massage. This is helping with the kind of warming up process. Okay, put some different music on. So, we're going to do some of the movements almost like a warm-up. And the idea is that I'm kind of giving you some words. It's like learning a language. So we're dropping in some of the basics and giving you some words, and then you can use those words to start constructing sentences. And the best way to do that is quite literally, once you've kind of tuned in and zoned in to wanting to do some sacred dance, put some music on that you really like, and then just have a go blending all the movements together. So we're going to first of all start with a nice deep breath, and exhale, and again nice deep breath, and exhale. One more. This time we bring the arms up, push the breath down, and we're going to start with some neck rolls, so just small rolls to begin with. So just feeling into the space that the body's giving you. This is a space we hold a lot of tension. Things like saying like pain in the neck. Just thinking about the sort of emotional implications within the body. Obviously in other sorts of cultures and medicine practices, the aches and pains in the body and issues in the body often are associated with emotional trauma that stays in the body. So dancing into the front, change direction. Dancing is a really good way to sort of give yourself an all-over body scan to see if there's parts of the body that move more fluidly and freer than others. Put the head up straight. We're going to do some head slides. So the hands are above the head, just sliding from side to side. Forward and back, a little bit like a chicken. We're just warming up all parts of the body. And then into circles, so we're marking all 4 points, one way and then the other. And then float the hands down, all the fingers, make sure you use every little finger, wrists, curling them down into the arms, shoulders, so we're circling both shoulders back, small to begin with and then making them larger, one way and then the other. Lift, relax, lift, squeeze, relax. Breathe in as you squeeze them up, exhale as you release them. We'll do this a little bit faster. This is a good way to measure to see how stressed your heart are, how easily the shoulders move. So alternating the shoulders, and of course we've got a little bit of dancing going on here. One way and then the other. Hands on the shoulders, circle the elbows. So we're just warming the whole body up. And the other side. Hand on the shoulder. So we're not keeping the rest of the body rigid. There's a fluidity in the rest of the body when we're doing this. So we're going to put 2 arms now. Making nice big circles. And then faster and smaller at the front. Alternating the arms one in front of the other. And And we're going to windmill, so we're following the fingertips all the way around. So we're starting and beginning to do some gentle twists, warming the spine up. All the way back. Do that a couple more times, following with the eyes and fingertips as they go round. So this is a nice one for some shoulder and chest movements. A little bit of a kind of Punjabi. So we're going to move into our chest and arms now. Taking the arms out to the sides, we're going to slide the rib cage across. So you're imagining that the hips from the waist down, this is what's kind of good to wear a hip scarf and look in the mirror, because you can see kind of which parts of the body are moving. So we're trying to keep this slide, so this horizontalness with the chest, and you feel this working all the sides of the body. And we're going to go forwards, back, forwards, back. So we're breaking all of the kind of social norms with these movements. Obviously, we're not really encouraged in most situations women to kind of stick the boobs forward and shake them around. So this is kind of sometimes an area that when I teach, some women are a bit unconscious, they're a bit conscious about this area, so they're kind of like maybe don't want to shake it if they've been teased for having big boobs, or they think they've got big boobs, or again the opposite extreme, if they haven't got any, they tend to be quite shy and close. So this is a really nice one to see if there's sort of any blockages in this area for you, so have a little bit of a shimmy around. So we're doing slides forward from the side to side. We're going to do forward and back, so hands on the hips, and we're pushing the chest forward and then bringing it back past centre. So now we're engaging those upper abs. And then we're going to do circles, side, forward, side, back, all the way around, marking out those points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then link, smooth it out with a circle. And again, you're working all of these abs, you're moving all of the organs that are in this area, you're moving them, shifting them out of the way, engaging the muscles, so you're sending a fresh flush of oxygenated blood into this area, which helps with detoxification, helps keep the abs nice and trim, and just generally great for cleansing. So have some water or have a nice herbal tea at the end of this class, and then we'll go the other way, so the opposite direction, forward, side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, smooth it out. So we're now going to do more work with chest. So we're doing locks. So if you're thinking about all these chakras, and again the Kundalini, we're actually coming down from the head to the base, but you could come the other way. So think about the moves that activate all of the chakras. My hip spots falling off. Bear with me a second. So we're going to do lifts and drops now. So we're imagining that there are 3 parts. So there's lift up, middle, and then down. So there's a definite kind of drop in the chest. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lift, down, down. Lift, central, down. Lift, all the way down. So I'm going to shout the numbers 1, 2, 3. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 2. 1 to 2. So doing this rapidly is a little chest drop. So this is another dance move. Obviously, repeating it over and over again is not something you'd perhaps do in a dance, but you might sort of like accentuate a drum beat with a drop, and then move again, another drop, drum beat, drop, shimmy. Okay, talking of shimmies, we're going to move into the shimmies. For the last class that I did for arm and base, we did an activity where we shook just one hand. This was something I picked up in a Koya class, which is a combination between dance and movement. So if you've never done Koya, that's a really great one to explore as well. And what we did is we shook one hand for over a minute, and then we held it next to the hand that hadn't been shaking and felt the difference between the body. And basically, once you've kind of shook and sent energy into a part of the body, it feels kind of looser, more open, free, and energized. So this is one of the things that I love about belly dance, is the shimmy. So we're going to do a whole full body shimmy. Now, I personally feel that the shimmy is a wonderful way. It's kind of like the Taylor Swift song, you know, Shake It Out. So we're all, you know, in a really unusual, difficult situation. Some of us, you know, finding it easier than others, but either way, collectively, we're going to be picking up on this kind of fearful energy. So this is a really good way to kind of just, you know, literally shake it off, kind of, you know, shake it out of it. So we're going to isolate the shimmies and then go into the full body. And this is a really great one if you've got jingly bits on, because you can hear where you should be jiggling or shouldn't be jiggling. Again, I also find this really healing and therapeutic for a lot of women or people who have body conscious issues, because in a way, you know, shaking a little bit of what the goddess gave you, you know, giving it a little bit of having some wobbly bits for this is sometimes a really nice feeling in the body, and we're becoming embodied in our own selves, our own vessel. So this is a feeling of how our body makes us feel alive, rather than us looking at it and criticising it and, you know, worrying about the fact that it might be a little bit wobbly or there's not enough hips on you or whatever. So for this moment in this dance, kind of losing it, you are just enjoying the vessel that you're in. So we're going to start with some shoulder shimmies, as we've been doing some warm-ups in the shoulder. So we're literally starting with some little shoulder taps again. This is another part of the vocabulary for your dance. Again, you can accentuate nice little drum beats with the shoulder taps, the shoulder shimmies. So we're going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. We double speed it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're starting with a little bit of a shimmy now, and then we're just going to go for it. So we really are just going to actually literally wiggle your boobs around, let them go. It's really, really exhilarating. Allow the shoulders to come in as well. And I'm actually moving my hips a little bit, so because I can hear my hips go. So again, just having a moment to try and isolate that movement just in the top half means you have to grasp the abs in, so there's a little bit more control there. And then we're going to shake into the hands, so just the hands into the arms. It's moving up the arms now, and then now into the shoulders, so the top half of the body. And then down into the hips, so we're just isolating, so it's only the hips that are moving. And again, we start out in the same way with the hip shimmy as we did with the shoulders. We're literally doing hip drops, so we're bending the knees from side to side. Another word for the vocabulary of your dance. Goes really nicely with this music. We're going to double time it now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let it go faster still. It kind of rolls into a shimmy. So we're going to go all the way around. So this is quite a nice little controlled shimmy. We can go up and down and really kind of let it loose. Really send that energy all over the body from the hips. So for a woman, the hips are a really important place and space. So this is a really powerful, and again, thinking about Kundalini. Kundalini energy comes up through the chakras. So this is another one We're shaking that energy up, awakening it, a bit like a snow globe, kind of shaking it all up. So just have a big shake up and down, hands. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. So now we're kind of feeling quite warm and energized. If you can kind of take stock to how you were feeling before, the shimmy is definitely, the blood's flowing around, we've taken in a little bit more oxygen, so we're feeling awakened. So now we're going to do some hip moves, the basics again, giving you things to have this conversation of dance with yourself, and again the beauty of dance is dancing with others as well. So we're going to do the hip circles. So we're going to go side, back, side, forward, side, back, side, forward. And then we're going to smooth that out and hit all of those points, but with a smooth circle. So you can have the hands on the hips or rest them at the side again, a little bit of breath, movement in them, gentle waves. You can hold the hands in front. This gives us a frame, keeps the top half nice and still, so you're isolating the movement. Hands out to the side. Now with these movements, you can sort of, if you close your eyes, you can feel the shift in the weight. So as you move through the centre, the weight shifts from one side all the way over to the other. So that when you're on the left, all of the weight is actually on the left foot. And then you slowly take the circle around, the weight shifts, and it comes all the way over. So with these movements, it's almost like you're being really mindful about it. So if you slow them right down, move all the way through, close your eyes, and be a little bit more thoughtful about it. And then once you can feel easily the shift in the weight, you can lift the feet off the ground when it's not weight bearing, which this allows for you to travel whilst also doing your hip circles. So you can come forward and you can also go backwards. So this allows you to travel around the room. Very handy for a belly dancer if she's dancing in a restaurant and she needs to move out of the way because the waiter's bringing the food out. And then we're going to go the other direction with the circles. So again, remembering to mark out the 4 points. Side, forward, side, back. And then again, slowing it all down, working with the breath. So again, in Kundalini Yoga, we always work with the breath. And in our warm-up for Kundalini, there's usually Sufi grinds and lots of circular movements. So this is a nice one to do in a warm-up. Breathing as the hips come forward. Breathe in and then exhale as the hips come back. So some variations on the hip circles. I mean, you can just have the hip circle as your basic movement and your whole load of stuff with the hip circles. This one's like a hula hip circle, so you're adding a kind of pelvic tilt with this circle. This is usually one that everyone's really quite good at actually. So we're bending the knees and we're squatting a tiny little bit. The legs are nice and free and loose, and then we're circling the hips. What's sometimes not as easy is the opposite direction. Most of these movements you'll find as well that you've kind of got a dominant side, and that's kind of interesting to learn about yourself, especially again thinking about it from an energetic and yogic perspective, in that one side of the body is associated with the masculine. So the right side is our active, dominant, doing, energized kind of power, and the right side is kind of like our more feminine, softer, meditative, cooler, linked with the moon, masculine linked with the sun. So again, figuring out maybe why sort of one side is easier for you than the other side. So again, keeping with the hip circles, because really this is the foundation of belly dance, we're going to do some infinities. So I always imagine, I mean, you could do this if you've got a little bit of cheap chalk, you could draw a figure 8 on the floor. And again, this idea of working in circles, everything in life, the cycle of life, the woman's cycle, not just women, men also have cycles. The moon, the phases of the moon, our earth, the cells in our body, all the circles, and then the infinity shape. Now these are also movements that are practiced during labour. I absolutely danced my way through lots of labour. I say lots because I've got 5 children and I had very different birth experiences with all of them, but certainly belly danced my way through some of it. So we're doing an infinity shape with our hips, breaking it down. It's almost if you can imagine where your hip bones are. Your hip bones are kind of curving and curling forward as they're moving. And you can do this quite isolated so that it is just in the hips, or you can add the whole body, invite the whole body. So again, another little bit for your vocabulary. You can change the height, coming up really nice and tall, taking all the arms up tall, just doing the infinity shape in the chest, and then adding the hips. So just to give you something else as well, as part of all this, you've got shimmies, you've got some chest circles and drops and lifts. We've done some hip drops, feet flat on the floor with this one. We've got hip circles, a couple of different types of hip circles. One of my beads just fell off. And we can travel with the circles. And then we've got infinity. So we think about what we're going to do with our hands. I really, really like to explore the whole space with my hands. And I kind of think about, you know, the energy field around us, the aura, and having a little bit of an explore with that. So we'll do some snaky arms. Elbows, it's almost as if you're like a little puppet. You've got a piece of string attached to the elbow, to the wrist, and then finally the fingers. So first of all, we're lifting with the elbows, then the wrists, finally the fingers. It goes down exactly the same way. Elbows, wrists, fingers. Elbows, wrists, fingers. Elbows, wrists, fingers. So we're almost like, we've got our little angel wings going on here. And then, if we alternate, so we're going to lift the right, and then as the right is coming down, we're lifting the left. But it's exactly the same order. Elbow, wrist, fingers. Elbow, wrist, fingers. And then obviously we don't want to be too rigid with this. We want some flow. We're thinking belly dance, so we're thinking kind of serpent. Again, the link to the kundalini. Serpentine movements. It takes some practice. Moving like liquid. Again, thinking about all the elements that we can bring into the dance. So the groundedness of the connection with the earth. The fire that rises up with the shimmy, and then the movement like water, the air, the spins. Again, connecting with Sufi. All the elements linking together within the body. So with the snake arms, they can come to the front. They can travel up. We can do a nice little back bend. Really would recommend some kind of back warming up first. And don't do a back bend if you do have problems with your back. But a nice one. Get yourself a nice steady base. Bend back, not overextending. And again, not trying that if you've got issues with your back, but building on it. Practice doing some camels, coming back into the back bend. So we've got a whole repertoire of movements now. So I'll just play a little piece of music and we'll go through everything that we've just gone through in the class. And I'm hoping that kind of gives you the beginning, a little taste. I am hoping to start some more classes, so do get in touch with me. But if not, there are thousands and thousands of belly dancers on YouTube. But just the most important thing about it is this, what we started off with at the beginning of the class, and that's the inner guru. That's tapping into your wisdom. You are already wise, wild, and free beyond your understanding. So just is tapping into that, letting the mind just be a little bit separate and becoming embodied into the movement. Our ancestors would have done this. We wouldn't have, been stuck behind computers all day. We would have had a fire. We would have been barefoot, and we would have had people drumming and playing rhythms for us, and we wouldn't have had dance classes. We would have taught ourselves. We would have shared with our community. So we put this is Scheherazade, so it's rather poignant. So we're going to do some nice arms, snakies, chest circles, little infinity shapes, shoulders. Shimmies in the chest, variations on the shimmy, lifting and dropping, down into the hips shimmies. We've got a shimmy and an infinity, so we're combining now, we're making sort of more structured conversation and sentences. Circles, really big circles, small ones, the hula circle with the pelvic tilt. The slides and the shimmies. Snaky arms. Circles, nice spin here and there. Hip drops. Travelling forwards. Shimmy again. Okay, so that's about all we've got time for, but please do put some music on, turn it up really, really, really loud, and have a little bit of a wiggle. Tag me in your posts, send them to me, I'd love to see them, and I'm sure Rachel from Om & Base as well would really appreciate you sharing. And now we're just going to do the closing down. So we're going to do a few stretches. I'm going to put some different music on. So take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the arms up this time. Inhale. Push the breath down through the chakras. So we're thinking about closing all of those chakras that we've just opened by dancing them open and awake. hands on the space, the womb space, close the eyes. Let everything settle down. Ideally, it would be wonderful if we could do some stretches and have a full relaxation, so go into a kind of shavasana. So if you've got the opportunity to do that, then please do. This time we're just going to do a few stretches. Take that hand out to the side, stretch, keep the shoulder down. Other side, stretch. Take the hand above the head, push and make the connection with the other hand at the back, if you can reach. You can always use a piece of strap, this one. The other side, hand over, reach. Taking a wider stance, stretch over. Release down and up. Float the hand down. This side, stretch over. And drop, release down all the way through, drawing a circle. Back up and then slowly snake the hand down. Then we're going to do closing with Satnam, because we've opened up a space, we've opened up a sacred space for dance. Sorry, I'm a little bit hot. So we're going to close it down again. So we're going to rub our hands together, place them in front of our heart, thumbs gently pressed into the sternum. I'm going to chant the mantra Satnam 3 times. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. This time breathe in to begin the mantra. Satnam. 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 I'd like to say thank you very much for joining me and practicing these beautiful movements with me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of Om and Bass Festival, and I hope to see you some point in the future dancing barefoot wildly to the rhythm of the drums in the sunshine. Take care.